I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to episode 53 of Raise the Hold, our Aston Villa save. Now, if you remember last episode, it was a little bit disappointing. We got a tight win in the Champions League against Monaco and then lost quite disappointingly at Anfield. Fair to say things have picked up a little bit since then. Then after the Liverpool game, we went to Chelsea. We hosted Chelsea. You can see that we got a 1-0 win, a really late goal to win it for us, which was fantastic. We did play well. We played a really high line to try and stop them from passing, and we were caught out quite a few times, and poor finishing from them actually meant that we got a result that we probably didn't deserve. I think a draw, you could have made an argument for us, but I think a win, we really did mug them off with that one. Then we went in the Champions League. We hosted Porto, and oh my gosh, what a game this was. You can see we scored in the first minute. We actually scored from kickoff. I think it was about 11 or 12 seconds into the game, and we just never stopped. Honestly, we could have scored 7 or 8. But you can see Wilson, Roberts, Conte, and Gonzalez got the goals. And when we had Gonzalez, Roberts, and Wilson up front as the trio, honestly, we look like we could do anything in football. They just play so well together. We've really hit onto something there. Then we went to play Everton up to Goodison, and you can see once again 4-0. It was just 3 for 3 after the last episode. We were really good. You can see once again it was Conte, it was Roberts, it was Wilson, and the Boob got a goal, his first league goal for the club, I believe. Reason being he played because Gonzalez had picked up a little bit of a knock. You can see Golini took a knock as well, so Pereira played in goal. Didn't miss a beat. We were really good. So let's see what that's done to the, first of all, league table. You can see we're sitting on top, only on goal difference ahead of the two Manchester clubs. Arsenal and Chelsea are right up there as well. But it's beginning to look like a bit of a 5-horse race. You can see our target this year is to get into the Europa League as a minimum. So that's going to be top 6. So in terms of achieving that, we're in the right place, obviously, but we want better things. We've been in the Champions League once. We want to make sure we're doing it again. And then if you look at our Champions League group, we're flying on top, 5 points clear, 7 points ahead of Real Madrid. That obviously means that if we beat Porto away, which won't be easy, we have qualified out of our group with 2 games to spare, which I don't think any of us could have possibly dreamt about when we saw that group draw, and we thought we would be fighting with Monaco and Porto for second. So to be able to qualify with 2 games to go is absolutely insane. Now, all of these goals, of course, will be at our goals of the month at the end of the season, at the end of the episode. So do stick around after the end of the Porto game to see that. There are some quite good goals. And some of our team play and the build-up is just absolutely immaculate. But first off, we have Wolves. So let's have a look at how we're going to go for that game. You can see it's essentially a full-strength side. A couple of changes, though. Golini is in goal, obviously. Van Drongelen, Langley, and Kone across the back. Conte and Davies as the wingers. No change there. Lima and Horahan. We're giving Horahan a game. Typically, we would play Luis Felipe. He's played a lot of games, so we're going to give him a rest in this one. We gave him a rest against Everton as well, I believe. We just want him fresh for Champions League. Then we're going Roberts. Gonzalez is back in for this one, and Molineux, we're giving Wilson a rest. He does have a high susceptibility. If you look in the medical center here, he has a high susceptibility. I think it's a hamstring or high chance of reoccurrence. Anyway, we don't want to risk him getting injured, so we're going to give Molineux a game. Long term, I think he is the option that we're going to have up there. Wilson makes noise every summer at wanting to leave. So as I said a couple of episodes ago, if it happens again, we're going to let him go. So we want to give Molineux some game time. So let's hope this team gets us the 3 points. Okay, so we can see how they're lining up, and there is no Jack Grealish. So he is not coming back to Villa Park, which makes this game a little bit of a disappointment, doesn't it? Jamie Vardy up top. How old is he now? He must be getting on. 34-year-old Jamie Vardy. Fair to say he's lost a little bit of his pace. So that shouldn't be as big a concern for us. Team Talk, challenging to pick up where they left off. We did that last Team Talk, and that seemed to work. The problem being there is no option just to pick up where you left off. So I think what we'll do is we'll go, we're the favourites here, go out and give the fans a performance to cheer for. Good old we have faith. This isn't the best Team Talk as it turns out, is it? Hopefully we will be able to move past this and go and get the 3 points. Come on. All right, well, it's no Birmingham derby, but it is a local derby, so let's hope it's the best we can hope for, isn't it? Because I think I think West Brom and the other mob are still in at least the Championship. A little bit of housekeeping as well in terms of this game is that we have a new affiliate club. The French club Sochaux. Can we get that in? Oh, we can! Linesman standing still. It's going to be disallowed. Not sure why, but it's going to be disallowed. So Sochaux, that they're a French second division club in game. So they're our new feeder club. It's going to allow us, Horahan Conte, he's got a few lately. It's going to allow us to send some players off on loan. So I think it's a good thing. And they have really good youth facilities as well. So we might even manage to pick up a bargain or two that way. So I was looking for an affiliate club, so I'm glad we've got one on the continent. And that is, that's the updated news. And of course, the big thing we ought to discuss is in real life, the Second City Derby. What a win. And Conor Horahan, what a goal that was. So it's beginning to look as though we are the second best team in that league, which is good because I think even neutrals, I think, would grudgingly admit that Villa should be in the Premier League. Let's see what's happening here. It hasn't been too much by way of highlights. It says there, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. It's off the line. Is it a corner? Not a corner. A penalty is what I meant to say there. This hasn't been great, has it? So the free-scoring Villa of non-episode play appears to have just completely gone away. And we've had near on 50% of the ball, which is roughly what we expect. We're definitely a team that looks to quality possession rather than quantity. But I think an assertive, that's not good enough. A couple of calms were not good enough. And we'll send them back out there. All right, let's hope for better this half because that was quite rubbish the first half. What we don't want to be doing here is dropping silly points, especially at home, to a team like Wolverhampton. They've just come up this season, so it's a promoted club, and we're currently top of the league. So it's not. This just isn't going well. Okay, can we push forward? Roberts has just been completely out of the game. Okay, we're going to have to make some changes here. Okay, so we're just going higher tempo, higher line, play with some width, close down more, just sort of all the basic, try and get in their faces a little bit. We'll give this 5 minutes. And then we may need to look at subs because we just have not been in this game. A couple of them are looking nervous. All right, what have we got here? It's a decent pass down the line for Molly. We have Gonzalez in the middle. Can he find a cross? Oh, has he waited too long? Gonzalez! That was better, though. That was better. That didn't involve Patrick Roberts, though, so I think we'll get rid of him. If anything, it's just a chance to rest him. We do have, obviously, the Champions League coming up as well after this, so bring Humam on. More of a passer as well, so maybe he can get on the ball. Ben Davies is looking tired. Everyone's looking frustrated. We may just need to give it a bit of a calm down here as well. I don't really want to take Lima off. We do have the great man Jedinak on the bench. We need to give it a calm down here, don't we? Because it's just not happening. And I don't understand. We've looked so good. Given us the big build-up. And we've gone and done this. All right, so we'll bring Strands Larson on and see what comes of this. It's just been a horrible game. I'm really sorry, everyone. That's been... what a snooze fest that has been. A 0-0 draw after 9 goals in 3 games. Can we get something late? Decent pass. Can Molly get onto that? He can't, and that's full time. Well, I can only apologise for that. That was poor. Really disappointing. I mean, we had the shots. We were the better team, but I don't really think we can pretend that we deserve to win that. Well, the good thing about that is that it's going to shorten the length of the episode. So we'll be right back with Porto and hopefully securing Champions League qualification. Okay, welcome back for Porto. Hopefully we'll get some goals this time, and I'm really keen to try and get this qualification wrapped up so that we can maybe go back to our Europa League sort of setup of last season, giving some of the younger players a go. And we can do that if we win here, obviously. So let's have a look at the team we're going with. It's back to sort of the full strength lineup, more or less. Golini in goal, Vendrongolan, Langale, Kone, Davies and Conte down the wings, Lima and Luis Felipe in midfield, Roberts, Gonzalez and Wilson, the Holy Trinity up top. And as you can see, the bench, again, is pretty much as standard. So they're going 4-4-2 this time. Last time they kind of went sort of the inverse of this with the midfielder back in here. So that 4-4-2... that can tend to work for us. What does Rebrov say? He says, do it for the fans. I say, all right, let's go with him. Let's say do it for the fans. I'm not convinced that we should be considering ourselves the underdogs. But so I guess certainly in a ranking, we were the 4th seed. Historically, Porto is a reasonable sized European club. So let's hope we can get one over them here. All right, let's do this, boys. I do feel as though we are starting to sort of stretch the squad a little bit. You can set Wolves game. We didn't rest that many players, but it just didn't look good. And we are starting to get a lot of tight players coming into the festive games as well. Obviously, November, December tends to be very busy. If we can just go back to, as I said, the Europa League, play with what's his face, Morgan and Green as wingers, and Strands Larson up top. That means we can rest Gonzalez, Roberts, and Wilson as well, which I think will be beneficial for us. What's happening here? Come on, boys, don't let them score early. We can go back and we can play Jedinak and Horahan, who did, let's face it, brilliantly against Real Madrid. We can play them in midfield. We can play Humam as well. It just gives us a chance to rest some of our first... It's got to be offside, yeah. Let's just give them maybe a concentrate, because that wasn't the best start, was it? All right. They're back up our end. Can we win the ball up here? Doesn't look as though they're going to allow that to happen. Maybe a little bit of lag as well, guys. Sorry about that. Come on, go out to him. Wilson, stay with you, man. Can we win this? We should win that, surely. No, we haven't. We're not looking great here. Porto are starting strongly. Oh, Wilson, go on up. Well, we've got away with that. This is looking extremely poor. Okay, let me just check our tactics here. I don't think there's anything there necessarily that we need to change. We just had a bit of a rough start, which is fine. We haven't conceded. Here we go. Felipe out to the edge area. Kone, we know he's got a bullet shot on him. And again, it's ricocheting around. Come on, Felipe. Can he find a pass? He can. Wilson! Well, it can only be described as against a run of play. We've got a little bit of luck that it's come back out to Felipe. He's picked Wilson up at the back post. And Wilson, I tell you what, for someone who's supposed to be a poacher and quick on the ground, what a leap that was. So this suddenly looks a lot better, though we can't kid ourselves. 40% of the ball is not great. So no other highlights, though, which is good. They're looking frustrated, and rightly so, I would suggest. That they haven't had a shot on target, although we saw that that guy, we saw his shot. That was a bit of a rocket, wasn't it? So let's give him a concentrate. Daniel, we tried to sign him when he left Manchester City, but at the time we weren't a Champions League club, so we couldn't get him. Luis Felipe, ball into Wilson. It's got Roberts in a bit of space. Roberts, what's his name? Davies? Ben Davies! Oh, decent save. All right, we can't tell him to do anything just yet. It hasn't been our best performance. We have had 11 shots on goal, so yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Look at their body language, just frustration and nerves, which is good for us, obviously, because that's what we want. I think halftime has got to be a very assertive, do not get complacent, because I personally don't think we've been that good. Do not get complacent. Does the job. Who have we got here that's stressed? Conte is stressed. You need to calm down. Ben Davies needs to calm down. And let's hopefully go and come on. We need these 3 points. I didn't see a score from the other game, but just having this, getting through the group secured with 2 games to go, I just cannot express how much I want that to happen. Because the league is a really tightly run thing, and those 2 silly points that we dropped against Wolves at the beginning of the episode, they're the sort of points that are going to potentially continue to happen unless we can rest players. And we got away with it a little bit because the 2 Manchester clubs had a draw. They played each other. Chelsea drew with Tottenham, I think it was. So it was only Arsenal that won. So we're still sitting second in the league. So that could have been a lot worse for us, obviously. Here's a chance of a counter-attack. Gonzalez, we've got men through the middle. He picks up Roberts. Roberts, can he find Wilson? He can. Go on, Jamie. Go on, Wilson. Oh, what a finish. What a counter-attacking goal that was. Wonderful stuff. Look at this. We've got men pouring forward. Roberts, just weight of that pass and the timing. And Wilson, the composure to go round the defender, back across the keeper. That was a thing of beauty. So this makes things look a little bit more comfortable for us. Is he offside there? Oh, Gonzalez looked to be offside. Oh, Leon's off. So they're down to 10. At this point, we'll give them we can't tell them anything. This should be fine now. If they're down to 10 and we're up by 2, I would rage quit if we didn't win from here. All right, Roberts from the free kick. What can he do? It's a decent one. Can we give them a concentrate? We just need to make sure that we do concentrate here. Conte's looking nervous. He's on a yellow. Bree is just back from injury, so he's not on the bench. I think the time is almost here. Oh, another set piece. Felipe, can he call one in? What I think we will do is we'll just change up our fullbacks. Both on bookings. They both get through a lot of work. So I think it's probably a sensible thing to do. Kone is looking a bit knackered all of a sudden. Bit of a knock. He looks as though he's going to be okay, though. In terms of another change we can make, let's give Conrad Lima a break. He's getting tired. He has played a lot lately. And we, as I always say, we know the great man. He's never really let us down, I don't think. Did he have one game, I think, where he scored a couple of own goals? Or am I thinking of Sheffield United real life? I can't remember now, but he's always done well for us. Billet up to Gonzalez. Can he pick out a teammate? Back to the great man. Put your foot through it, son. Shoot! Felipe to Roberts. Can Roberts find a pass back to the great man? Yeah, then it's a decent ball for Roberts. Can he turn? Can he pick out Gonzalez? Gonzalez! Yes! 3-0, job done. And this was some nice build-up as well. This is the sort of player that we've sort of been developing lately. And it's, Roberts, Wilson, and Gonzalez as a front 3, absolutely amazing. It's really making me consider if we should just look to sell Molyneux rather than Wilson, because Wilson's not that old, is he? He's only mid-20s 25. So it's not as though we don't still have at least another 5 good years in him. All right, can we cap it off with a 4th? This would be greedy, wouldn't it? Mings, we know he's got a good ball on him. Gets it across the keeper. No, a bit too close. So if you've enjoyed this episode, do give it a thumbs up. The first game obviously wasn't great, but we've absolutely conquered Europe. This gets us through the group phase. And I think as long as Monaco don't win, that could even guarantee us top. And, Monaco will do well to beat Real Madrid. Decent ball in. Oh. So I'll have to wait and see at the end of the game here, but we could have secured top spot. And I don't think anybody saw that coming. It's a decent pass to find Mings. Mings! Oh. Is this the full-time whistle? This should be it. Oh, can Wilson get one last goal? He's in on goal for your hat-trick. Oh, unlucky, son. Unlucky. That would have just topped it off, wouldn't it? If he could have got the hat-trick. This is surely it. There it is. Domination in the second half. 24 shots on goal, 12 on target. We can only be absolutely ecstatic with that. So Real Madrid, they did beat Monaco, and that should mean we are top of the group. Unbelievable. 4 wins from 4. We've just topped the Champions League group with 2 games to go. We can rest players. This is absolutely incredible. We've qualified for the first knockout round. Happy, happy days. So this makes the rest of the Champions League a little bit null and void. What I think we might do, though, I think we want to see us play at the Bernabeu, don't we? So we'll come back next episode for Real Madrid and Manchester City. That'll be 2 massive games because Manchester City's right up there as well. And fair warning, the fact that we have Arsenal and Man City in the league, either side of that game, means that Real Madrid will very much be a bit of a B team. But we've already topped the group. We're the class of the group. So I think at this point, the league takes priority. So that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. A thumbs up for top of the European Champions League group with 2 games to spare in a group with Real Madrid. Come on. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because as you can see, we are building towards a massive end of the season here. And of course, now we have goals of the month for October. And like I say, the build-up on some of these is absolutely immaculate. Got that out eventually. So thanks for watching. I've been Aussie Villa, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.
Sex